Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, the engineering department is having an industry showcase. When and where to attend, coming up.
And local mayors are vying for funding for major updates and replacements.
Plus, New York's budget is reaching its deadline. What is keeping the proposal from passing?
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Eliza Hopkins.
And I'm Piper Kiernan.
Interested in the world of engineering? Be sure to attend the Engineering Industry Showcase put on by the Office of Career Services, as well as the Electrical and Computer Engineering program.
The event is open to all Oswego majors and class years, and is for those who are especially interested in the engineering workforce. The showcase will provide opportunities for students to chat with employers, graduate schools, and professional associations.
The showcase will take place on Wednesday, April 2nd from 3:45 p.m. to 5:15 p.m. in the Richard S. Shinneman Center. If you have any questions regarding this event, you are advised to contact Assistant Director and STEM Healthcare Career Coach, Kate George. For 4 weeks now, protesters have gathered on the Oswego Bridge. Members of the Indivisible Oswego have taken to West Bridge Street to make their voices and opinions heard about Trump's administration, and more specifically, government spending cuts. This weekend, the protesters focused on the potential cuts to the Department of Education, with some signs reading, "Support education and Musk must go." One supporter said that the goal was to hold weekly events at the bridge.
Both the mayors of Oswego and Fulton are in support for the budget plan that has been put forward by the New York State Legislature. This $1 million proposal has been broken down into several sections, including a lead pipe replacement, an increase in aid and incentives to municipalities, and improvement and new construction at Syracuse-Hancock International Airport.
TEDx's international community will soon be turning all attention to SUNY Oswego.
Master student Eason Lee is the organizer of the event. WTOP reporter Kaya Wheatley has more on the story. Kaya?
TED is a nonprofit organization that is globally recognized for posting their ideas worth spreading online. With over 40 million subscribers on YouTube, TEDx is coming to Oswego thanks to a student's 12-year dream.
Eason Lee, a master's student in business administration, tells the story of working with TEDx, a company that is sure to put Oswego on the map.
So yeah, I'm the organizer of TEDx SUNY Oswego, and this happened since I was 15. I had this big dream of becoming on the TEDx stage, spreading ideas.
Although getting rejected by TEDx once before, Eason dreams of being an inspirational speaker one day.
When I came to SUNY Oswego, I feel like I'm closer than ever to being on the TEDx stage. My plan was to spread ideas about, embrace yourself as a human, accepting failures, accepting all parts of you, and still embrace who you are and move forward to your goal.
Since day one, Eason has had a succession plan, with the whole team prepared for the whole next year, because this event will not be a one-time thing.
This is happening every year, and this is just the first year. This is just the start, and I'm lucky enough to be part of the start. The reason I want to make this happen is for the community to elevate to a global standard, because we want to elevate ourselves.
Eason worked extremely hard to make his TEDx dream come true, and credits the success to his team. For all of Oswego, Kaya Wheatley, WTOP-10.
The TEDx event will be held April 11th at 2 p.m. through 5 p.m. in the Sheldon Hall Ballroom, and will feature 6 guest speakers. Tickets are available online and at the university box office. Now, back to the desk.
New York State's budget is due tomorrow, April 1st, as negotiations continue. Negotiations are in connection with the 4 large policy issues the governor has proposed, including discovery rules and involuntary commitment of people with mental health conditions. Assembly member Harry Bronson said, quote, "Oftentimes you hear complaints about extenders, but the reality is we'd rather much have a good budget for our families than the necessary on an on-time budget," end quote.
It's been 4 years since the legalization of recreational marijuana in New York. The industry made over $1 billion in 2024, but has faced issues regarding illegal stores. Office of Cannabis Management Acting Executive Director Felicia Reed says that in the past few months, over 350 stores have been shut down Governor Hochul's budget proposal allocates over $73 million to the Office of Cannabis Management.
Even through today's doom and gloom, it was still quite warm. Is spring finally here?
Let's ask our Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Christopher Convis.
Thanks, guys. Yes, what a wild range of temperatures we had today. Walked out here for Monday morning classes and I was like, hey, this is nice and everything. But then when I walked over for the evening news tonight, I was like, dang, it's kind of cold and everything again. As we can see, it's right now 39 degrees. You can see where the cold front is, just reaching in the middle of Pennsylvania and everything. But you don't have to worry about, there was a little warning about some severe storms and everything, but you don't have to worry as it's going to stay all south of us and everything. But we will have a chance of some showers this later week and everything that I'll have in my full forecast. But first, back to the desk.
Still ahead tonight. Severe storms continue to impact the U.S.
Plus a massive child abuse scandal at the Philadelphia school.
All that and more coming up on WTOP-10 Nightly News.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade.
No, you're good. You're good.
And between
no.
school, sports, and social
I
lives,
adjusted, no problem.
chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to WTOP. I'm meteorologist Christopher Convis with your full forecast. As you can see behind me, there's supposed to be a shelf cloud right there. Okay, yes, this is what you probably saw today, this afternoon, thanks to the cold front. Shelf cloud is a low-lying cloud formation that starts in the leading edge of a thunderstorm, bringing strong winds that we did have, and potentially rain as well, but we didn't get that. As you can see, it's 39 degrees, wind chill is 30, thanks to the winds from the northwest at 22 miles per hour. And we do have some moisture in the air, 74% humidity. And as we look on for the temperature trend this following week, it was 7 degrees normal, but it will go down to -9 tomorrow. Okay. Thursday, we will have a breach of 17 degrees and everything, going back to normal for the weekend. As we have predicted temperatures, tomorrow it's going to be 31 degrees and climbing up to a high of 35. And as we get on to Wednesday, it's going to go to a low of 27, but reaching up to almost to the 40s on Wednesday afternoon. for your day planner on Tuesday, as we can see, starting on 10 a.m., 33 degrees, with decreasing clouds throughout the day, climbing up to 36 degrees. On to our futurecast. The reason why I stopped right here is with this moisture that we have in the atmosphere and dropping down to cold temperatures tonight, we do have a chance of some snow showers, possibly when you get up for your morning classes tomorrow. But things clear out, dry conditions by Tuesday night, and as we reach into Wednesday morning, clouds return, and this is when we have this next game player of... That's it for my full forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
At least 6 people are dead after severe storms impacted the Midwest this weekend. 3 of the casualties were in Michigan, 2 in Indiana, and 1 in Oklahoma. Several states reported conditions including tornadoes, baseball-sized hail, downed trees, and flash flooding. The system has shifted to the East Coast today, knocking out power to over 400,000 people. Officials are expecting more thunderstorms to form across the U.S. in the coming days.
20 employees from a Pennsylvania charter school are facing child abuse charges. The Delaware County District Attorney announced the charges today, and prosecutors say an investigation into child abuse and child endangerment involved more than 2 dozen elementary school students, their ages ranging from kindergarten through 5th grade. Authorities say many instances of abuse were caught on camera.
As you can see them doing pressure point holds on the child's shoulder, causing them pain. You can see them grabbing their hands and putting them in front of them to restrain them. And oftentimes you can see them then using their knee to take the child to the ground. And at least one incident I saw them jack a kid up against the wall. This is just unacceptable behavior.
The Chester Community Charter School released a statement saying the accused employees have been terminated. The school said families were notified as soon as it became aware of the allegations, and those families have all decided to keep their kids enrolled.
Since President Trump took office over 2 months ago, a crackdown on migration has occurred.
During this period, migrant shelters have been watched closely by many.
CNN's Rafael Romo has more.
I've noticed that I'm alone here. There's no influx of people.
Jesus Rodriguez Machado is on his way to the U.S. from Venezuela. But when CNN arrived, he was the only migrant in this shelter on the border of Honduras and Nicaragua.
The exodus of people has practically stopped.
A very different picture from years past when the shelter run by a Catholic church was packed with people heading north. Immigration, a top priority for U.S. President Donald Trump, declaring a national emergency at the U.S. southern border and executing mass deportations after taking office in January. Honduran authorities report a 90% drop in the number of undocumented immigrants passing through their country from January to March compared to the same period last year.
We have 8,700 people who have passed through our country or who have entered our country illegally. And last year, up to the same date, we had 87,000 to 90,000 people.
The public square in the border city of Danlí now practically empty too. People who work nearby say they used to see dozens of migrants resting there just months ago.
There are very few migrants, to be honest.
Last year, this whole area was packed. This was the migrant zone. This year, we don't see any migrants at all.
Sales at their stands have dropped, but they say the area is cleaner and safer. Shelters remain open for anyone passing through.
This leads us to reduce installed capacity, but not completely shut down.
Even if it's just for one. Rafael Romo, CNN.
Shelters worldwide will continue to feel the effects of President Trump's new border policy.
Migrant numbers are expected to decrease as the policies stay in place.
Just this past Friday, March 28th, 3 out of the 4 U.S. soldiers who were reported missing after their vehicle was submerged in a bog in Lithuania were recovered. The soldiers and vehicle went missing on the morning of March 25th while they were conducting a training mission. Search and recovery teams are continuing to find the 4th soldier. Recovery efforts have continued after a 7.7 earthquake struck Myanmar on Friday. Over 2,000 people are confirmed dead and more than 3,900 people injured. 300 people remain missing as worldwide Aid continues to pour in. Several nations like the U.S., India, and Hong Kong have pledged to help Myanmar. The earthquake was most powerful to hit Myanmar in over a century, and tremors were felt as far as China and Thailand. When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, 212,000 pounds of egg substitutes are recalled. Find out why.
And is there a recession on the horizon? Find out what you can do.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
In consumer news, according to the Wall Street Journal, DoorDash and Uber are calling on Republican lawmakers to have the Trump administration no tax on tips pledge include people who deliver food and drive rideshare vehicles. The proposal from Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Vern Buchanan would allow most casino and restaurant employees to claim the deduction. However, most rideshare drivers are independent contractors, which means the bill would not apply to them.
Goldman Sachs says the U.S. economy faces a growing risk of a recession as President Trump's trade war threatens to stunt growth, reignite inflation, and increase unemployment. The Wall Street Bank is warning clients it now sees a 35% chance of a recession in the next 12 months, up from 20% previously. Sachs also anticipates higher inflation and more unemployment, while still expecting the U.S. economy to avoid a downturn. But other forecasters think it's more of a 50-50 call.
After Goldman Sachs announced the increased risk for an economic slowdown in the next 12 months, many Americans are keeping a close eye on their investments and bank accounts.
Reporter Michael Yoshida joins us with more on what you need to know. Michael?
As America's economy faces growing uncertainty, are your bank accounts doing all they can for you?
It's important to shop around periodically. I don't think enough people are doing that. Only about 1 in 4 have switched accounts in the last 5 years.
According to Bankrate, Americans surveyed have held on to the same checking account for an average of 19 years and the same savings account for an average of 17. Convenience is the reason many give for staying.
There actually is such a thing as too much loyalty because this account may not suit you anymore.
So, how to approach your accounts? Bankrate's Ted Rossman says for your checking, because that's usually your daily transaction account for your paycheck and bills, bigger brick-and-mortar banks such as Chase, Bank of America, Citi, and Wells Fargo are often great because of little to no fees, easy ATM and branch access, and quality customer service. But for your savings, shop around. in particular among smaller institutions, credit unions, community and online banks, such as Brio Direct, Rising Bank, and others, where you'll often find better rates for a high-yield savings account.
Checking accounts usually yield next to nothing. Savings accounts, on the other hand, some of the good ones are upwards of 4%.
Over time, that adds up.
Think of it this way, for every $10,000 you save, it's about $450 a year in interest if you're getting about 4.5%.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
A food manufacturer has pulled more than 212,000 pounds of egg substitute from store shelves because the products could contain bleach. The items included in the recall are 32-ounce cartons of Egg Beaters Original, Cage-Free Original, and Cage-Free Original frozen liquid eggs as substitute, as well as Bob Evans Better Eggs made with real egg whites. There are no reports of anyone getting sick, and the USDA says the risk is negligible.
Now let's see what's new in sports with our sports anchor, Lucas Marquise.
Lucas, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. After the break, we'll have more about the Oswego women's tennis team hosting their senior day, and also 2 Oswego athletes got named Offensive Player of the Week in SUNYAC. For that and more in sports after the break.
La, 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 la. Breathe. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Lucas Marquez, and here with tonight's sports report. The Oswego State women's tennis team won another game and on a special night, Senior Day. It was a night dedicated especially to Rafaela Dimitriakopoulos, the only senior in the team, and nothing better than a huge win over SUNY Brockport. The tennis games start with 3 matches of doubles where the Lakers dominated and won all of the sets. After those matches, they play singles where the 6 players from each face each other. The Lakers also dominated, winning 5 of the 6 matches. With the ceremonies before and the celebration after the game, Rafaela was happy to be playing for the Lakers.
It's really nice. It's really sad that I'm coming to an end, but it has been great being here for years and practicing with everyone.
So when you have a leader like Raf, like a strong rock on the team, you know, it helps out a ton. It really does. You know, she leads by example. You know, even in the beginning of the year in preseason, she's showing some of the players around, helping them out. So having people like Raf is huge on the team.
Having one senior in the middle of a lot of freshmen is huge, and the coach knows that. That's the 13 win of the team this season, with just 1 loss on the record. Their next game is away against the University of Rochester on April 6. Now moving on to another big news for the Lakers, Mackenzie Wynn and Corey O'Connor got named for SUNYAC Offensive Athlete of the Week. O'Connor was fundamental for the men's team with 12 points over the last 2 games, scoring 10 goals and assisting twice, with the Lakers winning both matches. And it's not different for Wynn. She was the key for the team dominance this week. The Lakers won 3 matches, scoring at least 20 goals in all of them. Wynn contributed to 19 of those goals, giving 18 assists and scoring 1 goal. Now moving to national, the March Madness has the Final 4 decided, and for the second time in history, all 4 number 1 seeded advanced to it. The last time happened, it was over 15 years ago in 2008. The teams that advanced are the Florida Gators, Auburn Tigers, Houston Cougars, and Duke Blue Devils. The Final 4 will be in Adadome, San Antonio on April 5th. Stick around. Now going to March Madness, we go to the highlights. Auburn versus Michigan State for the Elite 8 games. Fears with the pass to Fielder, tries to finish, but he can't. And if you see in the highlight, Bromes stays in the floor. He got injured a little bit. He twisted his feet. But good news for the Lakers, he was back in the game and nothing happened. He's going to play for the Final 4. Fears with the pass to Fielder, tries to finish. And recently, but Akins did not forfeit for Michigan State as they come and try to make the counterattack, and he scores. What a goal, what a point to keep fighting. Fears with the ball, passes to Collar, and bangs it, hits a 3-pointer to get it closer to the score. And now Denver Jones has the ball, trying to secure the win, goes by 1, 2, 3, and scores, guaranteeing the Auburn Tigers in the Final 4 for the second time in their history. Stick around for more WTOP Nightly News after the break.
What's going on?
Dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one. Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
Today marks National Crayon Day. Artists around the world have used waxed and chalk-based crayons for centuries.
Edwin Beeney created the brightly colored crayons most people are familiar with today.
The year was 1903. Beeney Company developed the Crayola division for children for the first time.
And the rest is history. Millions of people around the world use crayons today, and they continue to bring joy for artists and non-artists alike. Hey Liza, you have a favorite color?
When I was like 4 to 5, I was obsessed with the color white to the point I'd sign all my drawings in that.
Okay, that was a choice.
Yes, it was.
What about you, Lucas?
I'll say blue. I love blue, so that's my favorite color.
Chris?
I say the sunset colors, red, orange, yellow. I like those.
Okay, you guys are very basic.
How about you?
I love my mac and cheese color.
Well, that's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for Coop.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.